Holler. Woohoo.
Bring it.
Hey, Kari.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Carrie.
Hey, it's Crystal Kalungi and Lily Bell's mom.
Oh my gosh, baby. I'm so glad that you called. What is going on with you? Tell me.
It's so much I don't have enough time, but I actually messaged you last night
Oh
and
no.
then came across this.
Okay.
So I've had a shitload of pain trying to get onto the YouTube thing. But anyway,
Well, you're here.
I'm so
So-
glad you call it the YouTube. I
you're,
kept doing that too.
go ahead.
Go.
No. Go.
So you know the history, except for the past couple of years.
Right.
And hearing you guys say, that was so-and-so's voice
Yes. Yes, baby.
that I heard. But, Kari, I've never heard her voice.
Okay.
I've never dreamed about her. I don't have anything left of her. You know that we had the boat, Lily Bell. I didn't go there for 5 years. I couldn't go there because that was our place. And we started going again this year. And I was there on a Sunday, and Tuesday I got the call that the boat sank.
Uh-oh.
And so everything that happens around her is negative, just like her death,
Okay.
dropping the casket at the funeral.
Oh my gosh.
All these things, there's so many to compile that I can't get it all out. But
I know you have
I
a
have
huge
to get
story.
rid of this negativity
Okay.
and know that she's okay.
Okay, baby. And I did see your message, but I wanted to be able to put proper thought and response into it. And just this is I've met this woman. Her name's Crystal, and I met her in a roundabout way from a mutual friend from when I was 12 years old at the skating rink.
Wow.
And she has this really, and I know that me and Crystal are connected in some way because she has this beautiful family, 2 sets of twins, and one of her sets of twins, one of her daughters passed away, and her name was Lily Bell, and the name Lily kept coming up in readings for me. And I had a friend, Crystal. This is such a big, long story, but listen to what I'm going to tell you right now, girl. I'm going to find ways to help you. I put you in my friend Sarah's group, Doing Grief Differently, and I hear what you're saying about this negativity, and I do have theories about it, and I'll have things to share with you about the universe bringing you circumstances and things like that, and I am absolutely going to help you. One of the things that there is a reason that this does keep happening, and I'm going to help you try to find out what that is. Mostly, it's a lesson that you are meant to learn. Your higher self, your soul self, wants you to learn something, and you keep having things brought to you because it's not clicking, and I'm going to help you make that click. Okay, baby? You had such a tragic story. I know that you did, and you're so strong, and I know you have all these other babies that you need to take care of too. So,
Yeah, they're
Mama.
not babies anymore.
I know they are not. They'll
They
always be
are.
our babies, but I know they're growing, aren't
Well,
they?
Kari, can I
They
ask?
are. They
Yes.
are.
Can I ask you, when people don't hear their person that passed,
Yes.
what do you think that is?
I think because I don't hear. I have heard a couple things here and there, but it's so vague, and it's very, very rare that I do. And I think just some people aren't meant to have that path, or they're just too blocked. And I know that Crystal has been deep in grief for a long, long time, and sometimes that in itself will keep you from being able to hear. But there are other ways to, hear your girl talk to you, and I'm going to hook you up with some people with that too, because I want so much. You've always been like this secret pet project to me. You really have. So I'm so glad that you called
Well,
in.
I'm still just in awe of all you have accomplished since we started our communication. And
Thank you.
the way she died was pretty terrible, and I have that drive in me to drive it home. So I
You
had
really do.
filed the wrongful death suit, and I've represented myself in Alabama, where we only have punitive damages. This has been going on for 5 years. So I've deposed neurosurgeons and anesthesiologists, and I've learned to work my way into a career into the operating room to know exactly what happened. And It was so morbid that I could not believe what they
baby.
did to my child in the operating room.
Wow.
And we are coming upon the 24th, and I don't know, because I don't pray. If there is a God, he hates me at this point.
No, he doesn't.
I feel like. So
I know.
I have a court date on the 24th, so it's going to determine whether or not this case goes on to, and I'm sorry, my throat's sore,
Oh.
whether or not her case goes on and that I can get, some kind of peace of mind back or something, because this studying, obviously I'm not a lawyer, studying and the learning, like I had to go and get an office. It was just becoming so much, and I believe it's truly destroyed my family. Both my big twins are, they're grown now, but they left, and my husband and I got divorced, so it's just me and the girl.
Oh, baby.
Oh man.
I know
And
that
so
this has been your life. I know you've dedicated your life to this. I see that.
It's pretty heavy, I would say.
Okay.
But it'll be on the 24th, and I think that's my last shot to get some kind of positive. People say, "Oh, you've already come this far, and you've changed case law. You should be proud of yourself." And I'm like, it's not about proud of myself. It's about how she pushed through and never quit. As many times as I was told, "You'll never make it through the first hearing. You'll never make it through this. You'll never make it through that." I've been making it for 4 years. The ball just keeps rolling, but nothing gets finalized ever.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
you are to go through this process. It seems like that helped save you personally too. And I know nothing about this. So I'm sorry. I'm coming in really at the tail end, but it's that seems like that kept you afloat during all of this. That drive to have this chapter closed. And I wonder if that's not part of hearing, because you are very much in your mind in that you have to be. I mean, you're taking crash course in law school and partially med school, right? So I wonder if after the closure, after the 24th, if that's when you basically, what I see is you sighing, just kind of letting it out and saying, okay, now I can be personal. And I mean, not that you're not before, but in a very different way. I don't know, it's sort of like then the guard comes down and you can allow yourself to reach her in a different way.
What else too is that, I mean, Crystal, I don't really know where you're at in your belief systems, but Kari and I are very much on the same page about things. And so I think that she will agree with me when I say that we all have these moments of trust. We all have these moments of surrender, which means you have to let go of what controls you. And, your justice, your seeking of justice for Lily is definitely something, that has a hold on you. And it's so painful to let these things go. But once you do, you find a new sense of peace. And it's one of the hardest things. It's one of the hardest things you're going to do. And you'll do it many times. This is probably going to be your biggest one. But, no, the whole, losing your little girl was the hardest one. However, you did not lose her. And we're going to find ways to get you back. We're going to help you connect with her, and we're going to help you see that when you are ready, and it's all on your time. This has been this, it's serious. You lose your baby, so it's going to take a while. But when you do, and you reach that place of surrender and trust and being able to move on, your life will change. And you need to at some point. And I don't, I'm not walking in your shoes, but I'm going to use my friend Sarah as an example from that Doing Grief Differently, about how she truly chose to embrace the new relationship with her son. And I want to help you be able to do that too. And I get that you're not making that connection. And I believe that if you find ways to do it, it will change everything, your perspective and understanding.
Well, it's a piece.
So so Crystal, let me, and I wanted to give you the attention that this deserved. So I will I will get back to you later today and impart all of my wisdoms on you, because I want to help you move on. And I want to help ease your heart. And
Can I say too that I don't think, and I have not walked in your shoes at all, but one thing I have heard time and time again is people feel like finding the peace around it, they feel like
It's
they
a
let them
betrayal.
go. Exactly.
It's a betrayal, yeah, and it's
so
not.
To stay vigilant is something. It's holding on.
You find a way to honor your daughter in a positive way rather than the frustrating ways that are happening. You said you got some benefit though. You got some laws changed or something? I don't know what you said.
We have,
Okay.
Case law
Okay.
that controls other, so Roe versus Wade, they always
The precedents.
use that case. That case controls abortion from the Supreme Court.
Mhm.
And so to top that case would be, phenomenal for someone to be able to do that.
Mhm.
So that case controls, the title of abortion. So now in Alabama, there was a case that controlled the wrongful death of a minor and being able to practice law pro se.
Okay.
Pro se just means yourself or on behalf of someone.
Okay.
And so now my case controls if a parent or guardian wants to represent for their deceased child, because children do not have estates. So you
Right.
can't, I'm in the courtroom like, what the hell do you want from me? Do you want her stuffed animals? Like the law says, it's clear,
Mhm.
The law says I have the right. And then, the U.S. Supreme Court says law is an occupation. It doesn't have to be barred. And so we went through a lot of hurdles, and I think they learned a lot about real law here instead of creating their own all the time.
Mhm.
Right.
But I have a new judge, and she's very, very difficult to deal with. I'm also on chemotherapy now, and
What the
some
fuck, girl?
different things are happening with, it's just overload, Kari. You don't even know, I can't. It's like watching that show Hoarders, only it's my body and my brain and every single event around me. And from knowing me prior to Lily Bell, all I do is drive home the positive and the good things.
Yeah.
We're having a bone marrow
She's
drive,
shining.
a blood drive. We're giving out 500 coats every Christmas,
Right.
toys. What can I do for anybody?
Mhm.
And I just don't understand this life. I don't understand what this life is for.
I wonder if you didn't come in to burn off as much as you can, as fast as you can. I've heard. I have a very wise friend sitting next to me that says that an easy life is an easy life. People that just sort of skate through. Some people really do. They seem to just have these charmed lives, and I believe that we've all had those at times. But it's like things are accelerating so quickly. It just things are heating up, and it's like, okay, can I cram in 5 lifetimes in this one life?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's a testament to your strength. And that you said, okay, let's see. And I've also heard, I think this is
it started when I was born. Abuse and foster care and
Gosh,
all that.
girl, you really did take on a chunk of life.
It's like
it's been, when you said that everybody's probably experienced some happiness, I'm sitting here literally going, maybe.
Oh, baby.
Or does everybody just pretend? I don't know.
Both.
I wouldn't know what that felt like.
Both. Well, it is. I think Kari can help you shift a lot of this, and I think that, man, I just honor you, because this is not.
I'm gonna tell Kari the story over lunch, because you really do have an amazing story, and just even our little bit, the way we connected and just glommed onto each other is interesting too. I've never met her, and I just love this woman. All right, so let me.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad I got to talk to you. I
know this is our first time.
Ironic.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I know. Yeah, and it's ironic because I just passed through to say hi, really, and to tell you things were bad. And I don't reach out in a pity party usually, but
right, you don't.
I'm at a point where I just am.
You need
so
some love
confused.
and help. We'll get it for you.
I'm very confused.
Well, we all, and we'll put it out there for you guys, for the rest of you guys out there. Let's all just keep the highest good for the outcome on the 24th. So it's the 24th of this month.
Right.
And what is your ideal? What ideally, without going into too many details, because I'm not sure at some point it may be
Yeah.
that you can't have a lot of stuff out there. But in a broad stroke way, what is your
Ideal outcome.
in this situation?
Well, I don't like to lose. Doesn't matter if it's kickball or if it's wrestling or if it's beating somebody's ass at the beach. I don't care. You mess with my kids and it's over. So what the new judge did was they filed summary judgment because they think the case is no good. When obviously it's shown merit. It's been rolling for 4 years. There's something there.
Right.
And she went ahead and ordered the summary judgment without notifying me. Which means the case is technically dismissed. However, I go back and write briefs and motions to say it's not and you did the wrong thing. So what I need is for her to recognize that the case is important. She hasn't given it time. She's a new judge, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because she has the right to alter, amend, or vacate it at her judgment, and then we continue on. Because I have my witnesses, I've paid my witnesses and had really strong statements. So if we can get that reeled in, it's sort of like starting over to some degree, but I think it'll bring us to a negotiation point.
Okay.
Which sounded offensive to me initially, but at this point, it's like, all right, only thing there is here is money. If it weren't, I would take your kids, your underwear, your socks, give me everything you have. But that's not the case. You can only get money. So write the check and let's just call it a day because you guys know what you did. You say it in your depositions, but the judge isn't wanting to deal with it.
Wow. Okay, so we will say send one out there for the highest good, the highest good for you.
Yes. All right, Crystal.
Good luck, Mama.
I'm gonna let you go, but I'm gonna contact you later on. Okay, baby.
Thank you guys and congratulations. I love that you're doing this.
Me
it's
too.
Amazing. Thank you.
This is fun.
It's really exciting. So keep it up, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right,
you
girlfriend.
Take
Bye.
care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Can I share my miracle story about her?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't want to rain on her parade because I know she's suffering, but this is a really cool story. But this is pre Eric. This is part of her story is what led me to Eric.
Oh, wow.
And I had a friend who had hung herself at the very same time that her little girl was in this, she had to have many surgeries and she did die on the operating table. And her daughter's name is Lily and my friend's name was Courtney. And I have another friend named Courtney that I've known since I was friends with that same group with the skater boy that I met Crystal through. So my skater friend Courtney made a post on Facebook. She was at Disneyland and it said Courtney, and because it's her name, and it says just took a ride on the Lily Bell. She was at Disneyland and rode this double-decker bus or whatever it was, and it was called the Lily Bell. So I have both of my friends. Well, Lily wasn't my friend, but my friend's daughter. So Lily and Courtney passed at the same time, and other Courtney mentions the name Lily Bell, and that's her name, Lily Bell. They're both Lily Bells, not just Lily. Isn't that crazy? So I was I'm lighting up, and then I was kind of concerned about, I was still finding my way, and so I put this message in a group, a suicide group, and I basically said, if you're so fucked up in this life, is it so bad to kill yourself if you get another chance to start over? Because I was still, trying to learn stuff, and the admin of the group sent me over to Channeling Eric, and that's how I found my way there. So, Crystal, you were instrumental in guiding me to this journey that I'm on right now. So thank you.
That is when you start tracing the Sinkies back.
You're going to that timeline thing you're just talking about, huh?
Well, no, it's like this leads to this, and I remember Tiffany talked about Eric, and so and I didn't want to touch suicide. I mean, it scares me. I mean, that to me, losing a child is, I'm not sure that there could be a worse pain, and that's so. But then I saw a couple of things and I was hooked. So then through that, I found your show, and I loved your show. And then I just remember sitting in the back of my house, and it was like, oh, she's in Houston. And I was in the tub and I was texting with you. Like I'd sent you a message and you sent back and you're like, I'm going to eat now. I gotta go. And so and it was like one thing, same thing. So it's interesting where things spark and where you don't know when that nexus point to the rest of your life is going, where you're going to find it. It could be the grocery store. It could be, sitting in your tub texting some chick you've never met. All right, we have another caller.
Oh.
So